The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Host Karen Miranda. Welcome to Whispers from the Other Side. We are coming to you live from Eastern Massachusetts. Hi to my friends in Quincy, and QATV might be tuning in or not, I don't know, but just to let you know that. And I'm hoping everybody's enjoying the summer, with the nice weather and everything out there. And I want to talk to you about something that happened to me a long time ago. I was on a date, actually. It's spirit manifestation. One of the things I'm going to be talking to you about today is when I went on a date years ago to Revere, and it was a really nice summer night, actually. And we got going, to the place where we were going to go. It was very romantic, actually. That's why I was like that at the beginning, sorry. And it was very nice. And then all of a sudden, I looked over and I saw two people that were up at the top of the stairs. It was a cliff where we were at, actually, somewhere in Revere. And there were two people, and I was looking at them, saying to my date, "Do you see that?" And he said, "No." And all of a sudden, they were two by two. They were like swiftly going down the stairs. And I'm looking at the clothes because I see a lot of spirits from the 1800s, but I do see them sometimes. So they were swiftly going down the stairs. And they were side by side. And then all of a sudden, I looked at my date and I said, "Can we go in the car?" And he just looked at me. He said, "You sure? It's a nice night out." I said, "Yeah, I would appreciate it." And then all of a sudden, they came up the stairs. It was like from nowhere. And I just was like, all right, now I'm glad we're in the car. And when you get, the chills or whatever, that was happening to me, I said, oh, they didn't look left or right, the spirits. They had long white clothes on, and I was looking at them, and the lady had her hair down very, very long, actually. It was a chestnut brown. It went way down past her back, and the man had it slicked back, nice and everything, but they didn't look left or right. They just kept going straight ahead, and all of a sudden, they went inside the house. The door was closed, so I was like, all right, I don't know what was going on with me at the time. Going up to present time, when I met with my two friends, Erin and Andrew, and they said, "We're going into Salem. Want to come?" I said, "That would be, so cool." So we all got into the car, and I had did a drawing of his friend on the way and shared the information with them. And he said, "I got something to show you." So he took his camera and showed me his front picture. I said, "Oh my goodness!" And it looked just like him and everything. So I thanked him for sharing. But I said to them, "I got something to tell you guys before we go on the ghost tour." They said, "What?" "There was a little boy that got killed, and I'm telling you, he's gonna talk about that and bring that up at some point during the tour." So they were just like, "All right, Karen," and stuff like that. So with that look, of not sure whether to believe me or not. But anyways, I had the picture of the little boy in the car, and I said, "I don't know if I should bring him or not," but they said, "Bring him anyway." So we met with the tour group and the tour guide, and the night was going along, and it was another nice night, of course. And he said, "Oh, I got something to tell you guys." And we said, "What?" he said, a little boy got killed right here. Then my two friends just looked at me and I said, I told you. And so it was like they were surprised, and even I get surprised too sometimes when spirits come through. It just depends, like I said to you guys, how they present themselves. And then a couple of years later, back in 2017, I went to see them in Oregon, actually. And they said, want to go on another ghost adventure? I said, sure, why not? And so we went out, and this time Michelle got to experience it too, which was really nice. She's kind of like open like I am. And we got into the car, we all got gabbing along, and we're excited about this one because it was, kind of cool being out in Oregon. And it was Portland, Oregon, actually. So we got out and met the tour guide and everything like that. And we went into this dark part of a tunnel, and I was picking up stuff and, with the feeling part of the gifts. And I said to Andrew, 3 men drowned in here. And he said, okay, Karen. And so the tour guide got talking, and he had to stick to the script, but then he would go, does anybody have any information? Because he told me he said to us how he had another medium there. And of course, me being me, I raised my hand, and I said, I do. So he said, okay, there were people that drowned in here. And he just looked at me and didn't say anything. So sometimes spirits will get very persistent with me. So I had to ask, you'll hear me say back off. That's just my way of saying to them, you got to back off, and let me know when I should say something. So as the night went on, of course, the tour guide sounds like me repeating himself. He said, does anybody have any information? And so I raised my hand again. I said, the heck with it. So I raised my hand and I said, I do. People drowned in here. And he just looked at me and he said, all right. So I said, okay. And then we went on, and we finally got to the end of the tour and the end of the night. And the tour guide said, thank you for coming and all this stuff. And he said, does anybody have any questions? So, of course, again, I put my hand up, and I'm like sitting there saying, people died in here, drowned. And he finally just looked and got off the script finally. And he said, there were thousands of people that drowned in the tunnel. And my friends Andrew and Erin, of course, just looked at me. I said, what do I know? I'm just a medium, with delivering the messages from the people that have passed away or given what I'm seeing. But that was just totally amazing because I know they have to stick to the script and everything like that when they're doing the tours. So I thought that was pretty cool at the end. And I was walking back to a donut shop and with my friends, and the other tour guide was with us. And he said that was good, and stuff like that. And I said, thank you. I didn't mean to, be like that, but the persistence part of the mediumship stuff and things like that. And he said, that's okay. And I said, I was just thankful that it was validated. It was tragic the way they passed away, though, and in the tunnel and stuff like that. And I said, but just when you're feeling stuff, and warnings, sometimes spirits will do that. They will warn you, not all the time, but sometimes, like I experienced something a couple of years ago when I was in a sound sleep, and all of a sudden I felt my bed shaking, and I smelled hot dogs. I know it sounds strange, but to me it's not strange. But the shaking of the bed was kind of strange. So I said, okay, I knew right away that there was something wrong with somebody. And sure enough, I got a phone call from somebody the next day saying so-and-so sick. And I said, all right. And they will let me know that somebody wasn't, not in trouble, but really sick and in the hospital. So they will let you know that once in a while and things like that. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is transfiguration. Transfiguration's real. Yeah, one time I can remember doing something at somewhere, and I was giving somebody in the audience a reading, and they said, I can understand all of it. And then all of a sudden, this lady, her hair changed, and I was looking, going, all right, so like the movie Ghost. And I was like sitting there saying, all right, so let me know what I need to know. So her hair got really messy. And the message to her was, your hair's not deep, it's messy. The whole place roared laughing. And it was from somebody she knew. And she said to me, but you're right about that. My hair is not as messy as my mom's hair. So I said, okay. And, I thanked her for that, because transfiguration stuff, I said, sometimes I'll look at somebody and I'll say, you're not the person I saw, and things like that. And that's when they'll start getting a reading from the person I'm seeing transforming through them. And I just, learn to pay attention to the signs and signals that are around. And when you're on like a ghost adventure or something like that, which was really cool, really fun. Water can be very loud once in a while. So I said that, and sometimes people will say to me, you wear black when you do your mediumship, and whatever works for everybody. Everybody has their own free will. I said, yes, I do. And they said, why? And especially like at a funeral or a memorial service or something like that. I said, a friend of mine told me a long time ago in Sicily, I guess way, way back, people would go to funerals, they would wear black. And I said, why? She said, that way spirits won't go through them, and things like that. It's a protected color. And, I said, I'm so glad about that, about it, that's why you see me wearing black. And one time I can remember being at a service and somebody came over. You don't have to wear black, you can wear colors now. They don't do that anymore at some services. And I said, well, I have to wear because it does help, and it helps protect. And there's different ways you can protect yourself. When you're doing mediumship work, it's always good. Like, I protect myself, and just do that. And that's why you see me wearing a lot of black. And the phones are open, so if anybody wants to call or have anything you want to discuss spiritually, feel free to call the station. And I'm going to draw a drawing, and just to share those things with you. And it's fun going on the Ghost Adventure tours too. And what's amazing is I always say, you'll hear me say, it's not about me. It's about the person getting the reading and sharing my gifts with others. And that's why I had to learn to also control what was going on with me, what I was seeing, hearing, and feeling, because when I used to actually, believe it or not, I used to stomp my foot when I was first developing as a medium. And somebody said, why do you stomp your foot? I said, it's the only thing that spirit will listen to, at least with me anyways. And they said, oh. And I was just like sitting there saying, that's why I said I have to go and find out, to learn to share my gift, but I had to do it so I could control what was going on with me spiritually too. This woman had cancer. So I'm going to put a kerchief on her the best I can. it does help, like when you lose a loved one, to pray for them when they pass away, because prayers help them on the other side. And the other thing I would like to talk to you about is when a spirit dies from a trauma, it's not a haunting. Sometimes they just get stuck and they don't realize they had passed away. So that's what you know. You pray for them, and hope they'll cross over. Okay, so at least I have my eraser this time. But those are just the different things I do like to share with everybody. And like I said, if anybody wants to even call just to discuss something spiritually, feel free to call. And I just wanted to share some of those ghost adventure stories, because those can be a lot of fun. And in the nice weather, if you ever have a chance, and when summer gets long and you run out of things to do, look up in your town, or see what areas might have a ghost adventure. Those are fun to go on. And you know that when your loved one passes away, they do go straight to heaven, or wherever your beliefs are. Actually, she kind of had a little weight on it. You'll hear me say about like their descriptions and everything when I do a reading. And sometimes, when you are sick, you do lose weight, and stuff like that. You had weight on you, and And I always pray before I do the mediumship and after I do the mediumship. And prayer is very symbolic. And somebody was just asking me the other day, are our loved ones alone when they pass away? And I know I mentioned it on another show. Usually you get caught up with your families and friends over on the other side. This is who I have so far, Adam. Very prayerful woman, though, too. I see her with her rosary beads. And I do have somebody in the studio. I have a female, actually. She was in her 40s. And She wasn't very tall, and she was like 5'5", and she had down to like just a little longer than mine, but it was more like a darker brown. And she actually passed away from a stroke. But boy, what a boatload of energy she had on her. So if anybody understands who she is, feel free to call. And she said I didn't suffer for long. So I just want to let you know that. Very attractive woman, though, too. She loved music and she loved the piano. Very talented. There's a couple of stories I just wanted to share with you today. Just got to give her a little bit of hair up here. And she's just wishing to tell her friend and her family that I am okay. They will tell me, that a lot. Sometimes spirits will do that. Because for some reason, her lips aren't coming out very good, and maybe there was an issue with her lips. But she just want to let her family know I'm not in any more pain anymore. And she had very strong faith, and her faith kept her very strong. Which is good. I've got to fix her lips. When I first started developing as a medium, I didn't know what to do about my gifts and where I could control them, so I was led to the First Baptist Church in Quincy, which was really good because it was nice to know that you're not alone, and I wasn't alone with my gifts. So I was just like, that made me feel really good. One person had the gift to see spirits. One of them, everybody had their own gifts in their own way. It was called Development Circle. And if you want to learn how to communicate with people that have passed away, that's one way you can actually do it. I'm having trouble with her lips for some reason. I'm just going to go like that with her mouth. And she had a nice round face. And one person in the room had a gift to see. One person in the development circle, it's called Development Circle, where the other person had the gift to feel the presence of spirits in the room. And these are their memories, too, that they will share with me. It's not about me. I'm just the person in between the veil delivering the messages. This is what I have, Adam. And she's out enjoying a good walk in the garden, too. She's telling me she had her sandals on, and she's taking them off and enjoying and connecting with the good nature. And I hope you've enjoyed the stories I shared with you today. And feel free to call the station. If you guys don't even want to call and you want something different for me to discuss, you can call the station up and tell them. And that they'll relay it to me, of course. And that I'll know what to talk to you about. And our loved ones are gone but not forgotten yet, just a thought away. And I, want to thank everybody for helping me out with my show. And my friends at QATV, too, in Quincy. And remember to appreciate each other, because life is too short. You don't know when. It's got to, your time is up. But just to let you know that